Welcome to the Psyche Expansion Podcast. I'm your host, Gabriel Elijah. How y'all doing today, man? What's going on with y'all? Come on. I know that one, first one was for y'all. Now give it up for me. You know what I'm saying? Give it up for me. It's only right. Yeah, man. What's going on with y'all today? I hope everything's been well. It ain't been too hot today. It was kind of warm, but it ain't been too hot today. I mean, cause like all last week and yesterday it rained, but all last week it was in the high 90s, son. And if you know anything, about that North Carolina weather, son, like when it get hot, it feels like it's hugging you, like it's muggy, dog. Like, nah. But it wasn't too hot today, so I'm happy about that. Even though I ain't been outside all day, low-key, I'm not even gonna front. I ain't had work today, nigga. I was in the house chilling. Well, I wasn't really chilling. I was working on podcast stuff and content stuff. But yeah, I did not go outside today. I got work tomorrow. It is what it is, though. But we not here to talk about that. We here to talk about y'all life. Psych. Um, yeah, y'all. To start this podcast out, I just want to say something to preface this whole thing, right? So you got empathy and sympathy, right? Asked me to differentiate between the two. Couldn't do it exactly, but with empathy, right? I just want to talk about empathy for a little bit. So, it's important too, right? It's important to be able to empathize with people. And I say this because a lot of times we start to be judgmental, bro. Like we see people act and do certain things, and we don't really take the time to think about why they're doing the things that we're doing. So, what I want to ask of you, to try to understand the reason why someone does something, like why they do a thing, it's backed by, like their experience, right? Let's just try to understand what somebody says to you and not be so skeptical of it, right? Don't think they're saying these things. I mean, yeah, if people show a pattern of doing malicious or having like malicious intent, you gotta be skeptical of those people. But for a person who's not really ever tried to do you wrong or anything, try not to be so skeptical of them. Or, I mean, and it's hard to say with strangers and whatnot. I guess if you get the vibe that you can uh, you know, I you have some trust in them. Try not to be so skeptical of them, right? Especially if you think that they are coming to you in a truthful way, right? You don't think they're just sitting here trying to lie to you. Um, I feel like a lot of us we say we understand, like we be like, I understand, I get it, but it's almost like a all right, my turn to talk type of thing. It's not like I really trying to hear you out. It's like, yeah, or if you do understand what they're saying, try to understand it in a way where you feel what they're talking about as well. Like, you know, when a person said they made a decision at a certain age and it raised them to be this type of person, try to put yourself, because a lot of times we go into these conversations and we're talking and we're like, yeah, I understand, but why didn't you do this? But at that point, we're speaking from hindsight a lot of the times because we know better. We already seen the outcome and know the, result of what could happen if we make certain decisions. So when a person trying to explain something to you, try to understand it at a level to where you're not thinking from hindsight. You know what I'm saying? Try to put yourself in their skin. Because it's easy to say that certain decisions would be made if you had been through it, but you know, like you can say anything after the fact. You know what I'm saying? I would have did this, but that's after the fact. Like, try to think about it in that way. That's pretty much what I want to say about it. Like, just try to like try to put yourself in their skin and think where they're coming from, especially if you have an argument with a person. If you're arguing with a person, and well, maybe not in the moment, but if you're having a debate, I don't like to say argument. If you're having like a debate with a person, right, and they're trying to get their point across to you, and you're trying to get your point across to them, nothing wrong with that, right? Uh, Try to put their thought process in a simulation, almost an imaginative simulation, to where it's like you see yourself adopting their point of view, just so you can get a better idea of where they're coming from, and then break it down. You know what I'm saying? Like, why did you if just so you can try to understand where y'all thoughts diverged at. You know what like, you would have did this instead of doing this at this point in time in your life, because there's certain people right now, right? I'm 30 years old. I could be doing this podcast, but somebody else may be saying, I need to go be making some money. I need to be go cutting some grass or whatever, based on the position. Like, if we were in the same alignment, like living this same life in duality, like, they may say, I need to go get some money, but instead I'm recording this podcast. I don't know if that was a good explanation, but I try to adopt the person's idea. You know what I'm saying? Try to adopt their idea before you just tell them they're wrong, right? And know that not everybody has malicious intent whenever they're coming to you and, you know, going against what you have to say. Like, not a lot of times we get stuck in this world to where we think we're always right. We're always right, always right. It's not the case all the time, because, you know, I grew up and they told me, like, you know, go to college, get a job. I mean, which isn't wrong for everybody, but, like, I think it was wrong for me. I'm not even gonna lie to you, because I've tried school, right? Like, I'm more of a hands-on type of nigga. Like, I need to go be, like, doing some trade shit, like welding or something. But it's like, it just comes with all types of nuances. I don't know what, like, really how to articulate it. It was just a thought that I was going through before I started, like, was outlining the podcast, because there's one part in the podcast where having empathy is gonna really come into play. Right? Cool. So moving on to AI news. That's how we're gonna start it out. AI. So on Joe Rogan podcast, Joe Rogan spoke with the guy, the first patient of Neuralink, right? And he had some really cool shit to say about it. He said that you know, with the Neuralink, like, he can control his phone, he can control, like, his computer. Well, maybe not his phone. I think it was his computer. Basically, they have some system hooked up to his computer to where, because he's a paraplegic, so he can't really move at all. Excuse me. But, like, so if he's thinking to move his fingers, that is telling the computer to do, you know, a certain function. Like, let's just say press space bar. If I'm thinking move my thumb, that means I'm trying to press space bar on the computer. And it's just like certain little things like that that allows him to be able to text, play the video games, you know, send out emails, do any kind of work on the computer. And he has this, like, he has this thing where wherever he looks, the cursor on the screen will move. And he says that since it's AI and it's trying to learn who he is, now it's starting to figure out patterns to where the cursor will move before he even moves his eyes. I don't know how that works as far as, like, how efficient it is, because, like, what if it just picks up the wrong pattern and you really wasn't trying to move it that way? Now it's like a false movement. You know what I'm saying? But I thought it was really cool. He said that when playing video games, it's almost like he has an aimbot. Basically, an aimbot is, for y'all who don't know, in video games, it's where you can just like click a button, like the aim in button, and it will lock onto the target. And whenever you fire, you don't miss bullets. So he's basically saying, like, wherever his eyes go on the screen, that cursor is going. So he has, like, a built-in aimbot in his head. And I don't know if y'all know what Neuralink is, but it's like a company that I was about to say Joe Rogan, but Elon Musk opened, where they take a chip. They say it's the size of like, the roundness is the size of a quarter, but it's a bit thicker. You know, probably, like, I think he said half an inch it's about a half an inch thicker than a quarter. And they put it in your head. They have these probes or whatever that they go in your brain, or electrodes. I think that's the right word for it. Electrodes that go in your brain that allows functionality, outside of you being. It allows you to do things on your computer. But yeah, thought that was pretty cool. What else did he say? Oh, he said it was also able for him to be hacked. Like his brain can be hacked, or not his brain. Let me stop. That was a little bit exaggerated, but it can be hacked. They can't like read his thoughts or anything like that, but maybe access things on his computer and whatnot. But that's pretty much it. It's not gonna make him get up and start moving and killing people or none of that shit, But I thought that was pretty cool. Another thing in AI, before I wrap this segment up, is where is it? Where am I at? Oh yeah. So LG. I used to have an LG cell phone when I was younger. That I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. When I think about cell phones from whenever I first got a cell phone, I had a little Nokia, bro. Like from what we can do now is OD. I used to text without even looking. You know what I'm saying? I could kind of do that now. Just, one hand text. But back then you had to press, you had like, how you got the number one, I think it was numbers one through 9, and then 0 is at the bottom. And you got 3 letters on each pad, little number. You had to press it 3 times to get to a letter. Man, nigga, listen, nigga, I was that nigga when it came to texting in class. I ain't even had to reach in my book bag, be looking up at a teacher, getting it. But yeah, so anyways, LG has a robot prototype that has AI features, that has built-in subscriptions in it. So basically the first subscription would allow robots to serve foods in restaurants. So they'll put the food on the tray for the robot, and the robot will go out and deliver the food. They also, you could also use that in hospitals and hotels, which is good. You know what I'm saying? Just order some food anytime. I mean, which hotels and hospitals are always going to have somebody to deliver you the food, but at least they're not going to stop and start having a conversation and you waiting on your food and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Because, like, nigga, we was in a hotel the other day and, damn, I'm like, where the fuck is my food? Like, you know what I'm saying? I know it take time to cook it, but, nigga. Another subscription model they have is where the robot can cook fried foods. So I guess they're like making it hand in hand, right? Like you got to order 2 subscriptions to basically fulfill the task. So if you order both subscriptions, they work hand in hand, right? The robot can cook the fried food and then take the food up to, the customer or whatever. Niggas gonna have all types of bills in the future, like bills that we never had before. Like, whenever you think about, like, let's just say these are robots that we're going to have in our homes, you know what I'm saying, when they make it more affordable, because they're going to make it more affordable. It's going to become more affordable. It's just like the Apple computer. Like back in the day when they first made the computer, nobody, like barely anybody, like it wasn't as accessible as it is now. Like, I mean, shit, I ain't gonna lie, Apple computer is kind of hot now. But like back in the day, like niggas wasn't buying that shit. Like shit was too expensive. But now it's more affordable. The same thing's gonna be with these robots. We're gonna have all types of bills. Like, what's the shit called? Blue Chef, where they deliver the food. We're gonna have a robot deliver the food, then we're gonna give it to the other robot to cook, and then it's gonna deliver it to us at the table. Man, niggas just gonna have all types of times to do all types of bullshit. Oh, another thing, bro, I went to Twitter and I found out that Drake had a website, which makes sense, right? But like his website is unique. I haven't seen a website like this as far as like for an artist. So if you go to drakerelated.com or just type in Drake Related in Google, and his website's gonna come up. Basically, his website, you know how like you can click categories and like or view merch and it's like all in a list. His website is set up to where, let me see if I can pull it up on the screen, and I'm also explain it for y'all who are not looking at it on YouTube. And if you want to see what I'm talking about on YouTube, or see what I'm talking about, just go to YouTube. Let me see. All right, I guess we'll use this screen. Let's see here. So yeah. Boom. Wait, what? Why did it not? Let's do this again. All right, there we go. So, Drake related. Basically, his website is a tour of his house, and it has like his merch laid out through his house, and you can click it. You can click other things in the house too, but like once you click the merch, anyways, it should take you to like what the merch is, how much it costs, and all this other shit. Like this is a Nike Club white hat. Like you can buy it whenever you click on it. You can add it to a cart. It's pretty dope. It's pretty dope. So all the places that you can tour in his home are, let's see, right now where are we at right now? Let's enter the lounge. Okay, no. We're going to enter his closet, see what's in the closet. So we see his closet, mock image of what his closet looks like. And you could just click on things in his closet and it'll take you to where you can buy it, which is really dope. But you're also getting a tour of his house. Like if you're a fan, like I can imagine how this is really dope, right? Let's see. Where else can you explore? Let's enter the lounge. This is the lounge area. I guess I don't know, yo. Let's see what else. This is the plane. You're on his plane, so you on the plane you can buy. I guess like this is cologne. Carby Musk. No, this is the candle. Carby Musk. You can buy his candle. His candle is fucking $80. Niggas is wild. This is his Shopify. Where else can you visit? The front of his house where it shows his vehicles. You can enter the garage, his studio, the bedroom, and the studio. Yeah, another studio. Anyways, that's that, right? That's that. Let me see. Let me get this off the screen. Yeah. But yeah, that's that, man. I just want to show y'all that. I thought that was pretty cool. Especially if you're a fan, you just, see Drake's house and go. His website is really dope. I think it's really innovative. I think you're going to start seeing a lot of people. I think you're going to start seeing a lot of people do stuff like that. I was in there looking for where Pharrell chain was. You know what he's saying? What he told Kendrick, he was like, "You want to take up Pharrell? Well, come get this legacy out of my house, nigga." I was looking for that chain. That'd be the ultimate troll if he had Pharrell's chain in there for somebody to buy. That'd be OD. Or Kendrick. I mean, like, it's wild how that whole beef went down. And okay, never mind, I don't even want to talk about that beef. I did that for the last 2 podcasts. I'm not gonna lie to you, I don't want to get into it no more because I hear enough of it low key whenever I'm talking to my friends. And yeah, bro, that was like what, 2 months ago, a month ago, like 2 months ago, bro. I am not trying to hear about that no more, even though I know stuff is still gonna pop up. Anyways, next things, so I seen this video of this girl talking about Sexyy Red, and I'm gonna play the video first, and then I'm gonna tell you my thoughts. All right, where are we at? This is what she had to say about Sexyy Red.
I hate that girl. I hate her. I hate her. I wish somebody would make a diss record against her ass. I think I'm about to write a diss. I don't like that bitch. I don't like her at all. Like, she be single-handedly playing in y'all face. And I said to myself, who the fuck is her fan base? This is why I hate when y'all listen to her music. Like, y'all keep saying, like, yeah, man, but the beat hit. I don't give a fuck how much the motherfucking beat hit. Let me tell you something. Every time I hear that bitch in my motherfucking car, I turn her shit off because I know she detrimental to the black community. I know she motherfucking influencing young girls to pop they pussy open for a baby. I know that's what that bitch doing. And in the same breath, she's influencing these young girls to be ratchet, nasty, and trifling. And then she's telling y'all that y'all got carpet hair. So not only She's influencing y'all to do that, but she's also insulting y'all at the same time. I hate that bitch. I promise you. Right. I hate the fact that social media make everybody famous. I hate this. That's why every time I see one of my sisters going in on that bitch, I repost, share, like, comment as much as I motherfucking can. As much as I can. If y'all women up here got younger girls, okay, and within their teenage years, please talk to your girls. Please talk to your teenagers about this bitch.
Okay.
Make sure you tell them that this is not the way to go, because that's her fan base. Because everybody that I talk to don't really like her.
I think
so. I be trying to figure out who is her fan base. It's these younger girls. It's these younger girls with fam. She is going to tear y'all daughter's self-esteem down. Keep fucking letting your daughter listen to this. I'm finna say some crazy shit. Keep letting your daughter listen to.
All right, that's enough of that. So, anyways, you get the point. She hates Sexyy Red. She said, I hate the way that you walk, the way that you talk. I hate the way that you dress up. You got that. No, okay, look, she ain't say all that, but she don't like Sexyy Red. So let's recap on her thoughts, right? She says she is detrimental to the black community. I wouldn't say all that, but I get it. I get it. She's not a help, right? Says she's influencing young girls to pop they pussy for a baby. She raps about, I don't listen to Sexyy Red enough. I just hear it in passing. It says she is influencing young girls to be ratchet, nasty, and trifling. Says that every time she sees someone going in on Sexyy Red, she reposts it, likes it, comments as much as she motherfucking can. Says parents should talk to their kids about Sexyy Red because majority of her fan base are younger girls. I can agree with this last one because, like I said, I was driving through a neighborhood predominantly, I would say predominantly white neighborhood, and even those little white girls on that golf cart that rolled past my Amazon van was out there bumping Sexyy Red. I'm like, what the fuck is going on, nigga? Listen, I'm not gonna lie to y'all, like,
you're a dummy, bitch.
Type shit. But so I just want to say this. Remember the empathy part that I was talking about in the beginning? Right. Cool. Just understanding about a person's life a little bit. Trying to understand why they do certain things. So I just want to go into this right here. Sexyy Red is 26 years old. Just turned 26 this year. I think it was like April or some shit. Don't remember. But I know at 26, I was kind of in some bullshit. You know what I'm saying? My mind wasn't exactly like where it needed to be. And who's to say it is now? But I know it's in a way better place than it was when I was 26. You know what I'm saying? Especially didn't have the type of guidance that, that you would get from a nuclear family. And I can't even say that, but like the ideal nuclear family, right? She's 26 years old. I know a little while back I said that I want to go on a trip to Saint something, but Saint me overseas. I want to go to Saint Lucia, Saint something else, not St. Louis. That's where she's from. She's from St. Louis, right? I'm not trying to go there. She was born in St. Louis, Missouri, and historically, St. Louis has struggled with high crime rates, particularly in certain neighborhoods. They've always pretty much faced an economic challenge way back to the Civil War, and I know it sounds absurd to say something like that, but that's a long history of struggle and violence, you know what I'm saying? Because it said that since 2014 up until 2017, the city of St. Louis has had one of the highest murder rates. And according to Safe, Sound, and Security, it ties at number one for places for me not to go, nigga. I'm not going to no fucking St. Louis. No, but all seriousness, like in 2024, it is ranked number 2 as one of the highest, like having one of the highest murder rates, right? This is the place that she comes from, you know. So growing up seeing that shit, like all your life, you gotta like it does something to your mind, you know. Environment is important, and you should know that, right? Especially if you're speaking on, you know, keeping younger girls' minds clear, right? Imagine what she was seeing and hearing. And I know there's nothing you can do about it, and she's a grown woman now, but that doesn't mean like her. You can't just snap that shit on and snap it off. You don't know what you don't know. You know what I'm saying? It says for every 1,000 people, 14 people die annually, right? That place has roughly 286,000 people. So if you do the math, you know, that's divided by 365. That's like 11 people a day. That's the math I came up with anyway. 11 people a day. Like, can you imagine that? Like 11 people a day. And I'm just talking about in that city. That's insane, right? Like, I'm not trying to justify her music either. Like, that's not what I'm trying to do, right? Like, I'm not saying, you know, she should make music like that which I get why she does. I get it. It's because that's what she knows. You can't produce you can't produce things that you don't know. Like, you know what I'm saying? You can only produce what you know, what you feed your brain, and what's being fed to you. I just want you to understand, like, where she comes from, not figuratively, but physically, and how it could shape someone's mind. You know what I'm saying? She could just need more people in her life to help cleanse her perspective, you know? To influence her to think in a different way, help her think in a different way. Just because she got money don't mean that your way of thinking is going to be better. You know, it's just they say money doesn't do anything but heighten your personality of who you already was. And naturally, you know, the approach of saying that you hate her and that going viral and talking bad about her and all this shit, people are usually rebellious to harsh criticism. I just think that there's another way for, you know, if it's bothering you that much, I think there's another way to go about it, especially if, you know, you care about people. There's another way to go about it. I don't know what that approach is, what it looks like or whatever, but I know there is another way. But that's enough about that. I didn't want to like dwell on that or you know, talk about that too much because, yeah, whatever. People gonna do what they want to do anyway. I shouldn't say that either. They're not gonna do what they want to do anyway. But yeah, whatever. Let's get into a little bit of politics because some shit is going on, and with me as far as like how I'm starting to think about politics, and yeah, I've decided to approach voting for the president in a new way, which actually seems like I should have been thinking this way, but yeah, I'm here now. While I'm still thinking about it, right, my plan is to base my votes primarily on which candidates' ideas benefit my life. If only even if it's only like a fraction or whatever, like to the plus side, I need to like start focusing on what they are pushing rather than what people are saying, like, oh, I think they're racist and this and that, right? I think I need to really like start doing my research and finding out what these people's plans are, and also because both of them have been president before. You know, one is current and one is prior, like the previous president. I need to look and see. I need to go back and see. Camera went off. I need to go back and see what promises were made and who stood on business. Like, who tried to get some shit in progress on the promises they made to us coming into office. You know what I'm saying? Like, did y'all just say shit to trick us, to get us to vote for you? You know, pandering. Like, who really stood on business? And I'm trying to think as I'm talking, like, but I need not do that because I'm getting caught up in thought. But yeah, I'm gonna just start doing my research instead of like going with this old idea that I was raised with, like, you know, just vote Democrat because they for the black people. They for the black people. But as I got older, and especially now, that thought is just challenging for me, you know, because I've never been explained to about how they are for us, like, you know, and it seems to be contradictory to how lives are being described by the black folks. You know what I'm saying? They saying Democrats are for black folks, but whenever you ask them how life is going, it's like same old shit. Like, this government, like, you know what I'm saying? I just need to do my own research. Maybe it's environment, maybe the idea is false, maybe the idea is true, whatever. I just want to do my own research so I'll feel good about, you know, semi good about the person I'm voting for. Like, whatever area that I can have somewhat control over in my life, I want to like have that control. You know what I'm saying? I know there's a tons of factors that go into all this stuff, but it is what it is. And I think you should do the same. Don't just vote for a candidate or a side because that's who your peoples vote for. Do your own research, because if that person goes into office, you know, or if let's just say this, for example, if I vote for, if I do, theoretically speaking, if I vote for Biden, right, and I've done my research, and he gets in office again, and it's a shit show, at least I know I did that, right? It wasn't based off of somebody's else decision or ideology, like you should just vote for Democrats because they for the black people. I know I made this decision because I read into his policies. I read into what he was for, you know, that type of shit. Again, I think, you know, I suggest you all do that too. But yeah, that's pretty much all I got for y'all today, man. I really have too much, you know. I'll be back tomorrow, though. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate y'all for stopping through. Make sure you follow us on YouTube and Instagram at the Psyche Expansion Podcast. Follow my main page at AskGabriel_ on Instagram. Follow us on TikTok, Gabriel Elijah. Yeah, man. With that being said, I appreciate y'all, and I'm gonna holler at y'all tomorrow. All right.